because this would be another interesting with the drugs things. Like I did with the test. I did like, I don't know how accurate they are, but I did a couple of those at home like blood tests. I did another one maybe a year or two later, like a couple of years ago, and my testosterone was like, you have like a, you know, like the range. There's like a, on the results they gave me, like you go on like a browser and it has all these like metrics and whatever, and then there was like a normal range, and I was towards the low. I was still in the normal range, but I was towards the lower end of the normal range. And the first time I did it, I was like, what the fuck? Because I thought I was going to have like, obviously, I assume that testosterone is the biggest barometer of like muscle building capability. So I assumed I'd be high. Like I don't know how accurate this is. When I looked into it, people were saying like, as long as you're in the normal range, that doesn't make much of a difference. If you were obviously mega low versus mega high, that makes a massive difference. But low normal versus high normal, it doesn't make that much of a difference. I don't know. But anyway, point being, like, yeah, I was surprised that my levels, I thought my levels would be high just because I'm a muscular guy. I've got good genetics, so I assume that'll be the case. But that'll be interesting when we do these like series of tests to see like where that is, because again, I was surprised. I think everyone assumes that if you're a big guy, you've got a load of testosterone, but obviously that isn't the case.
No, yeah, it matters more. It's like androgen receptor content in the muscle versus like your actual test level is largely going to dictate your response. But also like time of day is a massive influence on your test level. Like if you did the test,
I remember they said that. I think I did them in the morning because I think they said your test is higher in the morning. So I'm pretty sure I did that. I don't know for 100%. I mean, my facial hair, right? I think this is like a good sign of like of shit test, but like I have the beard growing capabilities of a 12-year-old boy. Like I know, I used to be a teacher at school, right? And there were kids like in fucking year 10, like 15-year-old boys that had way better facial hair than me. Like I have no, like my body hair / facial hair growing capabilities are, I'm jealous of your stubble growth right now. Like, yeah, that is unattainable to me. So I don't know if does that link with test, like low test, shit beard?
No, it's like you'd get a bit more if you had a higher test, but it wouldn't be like substantial where you go from like no beard to like full beard necessarily. It's more genetic.
That would be a big motivation for me. If I could grow a massive beard, that's it. I'll just jump straight on it.
Well, if you wanted, you could do, have you ever heard of minoxidil and microneedling before? No? Okay, if you can literally go from no beard to a full beard within 6 months if you use something called minoxidil. Typically people use it on their hair for hair loss, but if you put it on your face, you can grow a beard from fucking nothing.
That would be quite funny. I don't think I want a beard that bad, but that would be quite funny just to do for a laugh.
It's non-hormonal, so you're still natural if you take it. So.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to say, right? I think, because like, again, there's so many, like, my knowledge is poor in this field, but like people just say steroids, like you're taking steroids, you're not taking steroids. That's what everyone thinks is being like natural. I'm aware there's obviously more things than that, right? If we do all these tests and my testosterone is like, I think is slightly in the low side of normal, like, because obviously as you get older, I'm getting to the point, I'm 35, but like, and I think I've got sick genetics, but there'll come a time when that obviously would impact my ability to build muscle and look good, right? So I definitely wouldn't be against, like, you can get prescribed testosterone for like if you have low test, right? So like that may be something I would do in the future, just to, not to be a monster, but just to at least get to like a level that I should be at, because like that would be interesting. If I am slightly low and I take testosterone to get me to where I should be, I'd be intrigued to see if that actually made me look like better, you know, like, because if it does, that'd be pretty sick. Like, again, almost certainly never gonna do it, but part of me is like, you know, if I didn't have a family and I was just like knocking about by myself, I would be so tempted just to fucking jump on a mad cycle of just the most crazy amounts of shit just to see how disgustingly deformed like it gets. I reckon I think I have the potential to be an absolute monster. Like, part of me is tempted, but no, I think it's
even when you get into like your 40s and whatnot though, it's like if you end up having, like, you don't need to, but I mean, if your test levels were actually like clinically low to a point that was concerning, like cardiovascular health is going to be impacted by low T, neurological health, motivation, like tons of things are impacted by low T to a point that it almost is arguably healthier to be on testosterone replacement at a certain point, not right now, obviously not for you right now. I'm just saying in the future, if that's something you wanted to facilitate, like obviously, you know, it could be healthy even depending on what your state is.
Because I said, if it's, I can probably go and find the numbers. Like I did it twice, and you like log into a thing and it has like it tested for like, I forget now, there was maybe 4 or 5 different metrics, and there were different like testosterone, like something binding something. There was like a few things.
Sex
right?
hormone binding globulin.
Yeah. And my understanding was that like one of those determined how efficient your body was at like using the testosterone. So you could feasibly have lower testosterone, but your body can utilize that better, kind of thing. Which maybe
if you had a lower sex hormone binding globulin, you would have a disproportionately higher free testosterone level, and free is like the one that's actually circulating around to do stuff.
I can find those and give them to you. I definitely, it wasn't like mega low, but I remember being like, fuck. I remember the first time I did it, I was like, I had to do it in a video because I was getting paid for it by this company, but like part of me was like embarrassed about posting it because I just thought, I assumed my testosterone would be at least like above average. But it was in that kind of normal range, slightly lower.
I'm skeptical of like one random snapshot in time.
It was two, but it was one, maybe a space like a year apart. And I think I did it in the morning, but I don't know how rigorous that like procedure.
No.
I mean, it was like me.
Well, even if it shows that you're still low on these results, like all the other stuff in the blood test I'm gonna recommend is gonna rule out everything. So it would just say, at the end of the day, it could just be your crazy genetics, and you only need that much test.
That's the other thing. Like I don't see my test, assuming those ones were at least close to what they were, like i.e. slightly normal but slightly lower than normal like test, that's not going to have changed. If anything, it might have gone lower, right? Because nothing's happened that would change that. If for 6 months we do these tests and my testosterone just remains in that slightly lower portion for the entire time, again, that surely is like a signal that like I don't know, like if I'm on drugs, you don't have really low test, right? While you're taking drugs, I don't know. Do you?
No, like there'd be things that would basically show that you don't have like suppression causing the low test or anything like that. Yeah. It'd be easy to rule out like this is your natural production and like this is why, because this marker is here and this is here and blah blah blah.
That would be, again, I don't want to give you a shit ton of work, but if you could say, look, if you give me these 20 metrics, this rules everything out. It shows you're not taking shit to cover stuff up. Like, I'm not taking drugs, I haven't, so I'm happy for you to look at every single fucking metric, everything you need from like blood and urine, whatever, like, do you know what I mean? Like, mate, even if, do you know what, even if it helped, like, I would even toy with, like, where are you, Canada? Where do you live, Canada?
I'm in Canada, but my clinic is in the States.
I would toy with the idea of fucking flying to the US or to Canada and just doing, if I came out for a few weeks, just doing a few tests, even just to give you like a baseline compared to my other scores. Like, to be honest, I'd probably, there may be a time in the future where we come away. I would toy with the idea of doing that if it made it more like legit. Like, I'm extremely serious about just people knowing this is the case, because it's fucking
part of the whatever series that we're doing here, if you end up in the States, we'll definitely do it with my clinic for sure, and then otherwise we'll be teaming up with.
Do you know what as well?
Clinic.
Like, without wanting to be like fucking, I don't want to be like over the top, but like I feel like this would be like a victory for people. Like, if someone takes drugs here and they actively say they're not taking drugs and they sell training plans, like they're a disgusting scumbag, right? But I believe there are quite a few people who are perceived to be like fake natties who aren't. Like, in fact, I know some who aren't. I know some for sure who aren't, that are called fake natties, right? I would like to at least, I think people throw it around too freely. So I think it will be, when this comes out that I am natural.
Who else do you think are like definitely
like